Unit 5, Day 1, got some answers here for you. Please check these out. Bless you. So number 1, I got y equals negative x plus 6. Y equals negative x plus 6. You can see my steps kind of flowing from left to right there. Number 2, I got 7.1%. 7.1% left the town. Got 48 for number 3, and it did check. And for number 4, 3x squared plus 16x plus 5. Okay, so I'd love to hear questions or anything I can do to help. Any of those steps, maybe I can explain better. Bray, go.
Could you redo number 2?
Okay, so number 2. Remember that we always try to translate these using keywords like of and is and all that stuff. Okay, so this one is certainly a little tougher, right? This says, because it's not just clearly spelled out, this is written in a more of a real world way, right? So it says, the question, what is the percentage decrease in the population? So my first question is, well, how many people left? So what's the answer to that?
500 people left.
So does that mean that there was a 500% decrease? No. Doesn't it matter, like, if 500 people left, doesn't it matter how many people were there to begin with? Think of it like this. If a town had 1,000 people and 500 left, that's a big deal, right? So think about it like this. If a town had 1,000 people and 500 of them left, what percent left?
50%.
50%. Okay? But of course, if a town had like 15 million people and 500 left, that's not that big of a deal. That might happen on any given day, right? 500 out of 15 million, that's not 50%, right? It's a lot less than 50%. So what really matters as far as the percent goes is also how many people were there to begin with. Okay? So the way we usually see these presented in the really basic way is we see some number is what percent of some other number, right? Some number is what percent. So I'll just say, I'll put it like this. Something is what percent of something else. Okay, so in this case, the something is going to be the smaller part. So how many people left? 500 left. What does the word is almost always mean? It means equals usually. What percent? That's what we're trying to find. So I'll just put P for percent. Of means multiplication. And the something else here, that would be the total number of people that were there, right? So there were 7,000. So then the way that I finish this is I use my algebra equation solving skills, and I try to get the P all by itself. Right now, clearly there's a 7,000 over there with the P. So how do I get rid of that times 7,000? Division. That's right. So divide by 7,000 and divide by 7,000. When I do that, I get, I think it was 0.071 equals P. And putting that in a percentage form would be 7.1% equals P. Here's another way that sometimes people will think about these. Part equals percent times the whole thing. So the little part equals the percentage times the whole thing. And that works here too. Okay, what else can I do to help you guys? Number 4 was really new, right? We just talked about number 4 last Friday. I don't know how it went. Hopefully it went okay. If any further questions, number 2's up there. Tell me what I can do. Yes, ma'am.
Could you show me number 4 because I didn't hear it?
Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 pieces of advice. Number 1, what I'm about to do for you is probably not sufficient. You guys, I'm going to say this out loud again for everybody, just so we all are clear on this. You guys know that I make videos for every single class. I'm making one right now. We're 5 minutes and 24 seconds into it. Make videos for every single class that I do for situations like yours.
Can you hear us?
Say hello.
Hey.
There you go. It's 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Watch it. You're going to hear yourself. So the answer is yes. You can hear everything pretty well. So that'd be my first advice to you. Ellie, if you have not watched the video, you really should. And believe it or not, this is a lovely thing. Back in my day, like if I missed a class, I had to show up and say, hello, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so. I missed your class. Can you reteach me everything that we did on the day that I missed? Not having a clue what a mess that is, right? And so now, instead of having to do something like that, all you have to do is say, oh, yeah, the video. So what you do, look at Unit 4, is it day 12 or day 13? Whatever the last day is for Unit 4. You click on that, there will be a little link that says Video from Today. Watch it. Because all I do is I just push record and I just let it go. You can fast forward, you can rewind, you can pause, you can do whatever you want. Okay, so you guys all okay with a 2x2 here? 2x2? Okay. So what we do is we set up our 2 binomials, 2x2, right? The binomial times the binomial. And I'm just going to multiply. So 3x times x will help me fill this first square. So what's 3x times x? 3x squared. And then I'm going to try to fill this upper right-hand square by multiplying those two together. 1 times x is x. How about the lower left box? I need to multiply here and here to get that. What do I get there? 15x, yep. And then lastly, the final box that's blank there, that would just be the 1 times the 5, which of course is 5. And then I'm just going to collect any like terms. And I hope you guys noticed that in this case, the x and the 15x were like terms. So those were easily added. So this would give you a final answer of, oh goodness, 3x times x. Did you say 3x squared or x? I must have just written that down wrong. So sorry about that. So it'd be 3x squared. And then 1x plus 15 of them gives you 16 of them plus 5. So Ellie, I showed this box method, and we will use this extensively, and we'll use it again when we break these back apart. So, and that video kind of outlines that, Ellie. And for anybody else that might have missed on Friday, the video does outline that. Yeah. Here's potentially a life-altering perspective. Listen now. Here's a life-altering perspective. And don't take this as any kind of a lecture. It's just the truth. I hope you're listening. At this stage of your life, there is one person that's mostly responsible for your education. Do you know who it is?
Ourselves.
Yourselves. Seriously, it's yourselves. So, and again, I'm not trying to lecture. I'm not angry at anybody. I'm not at all. But Ellie brings up a good point, right? So if you do happen to miss, think of it like this. When you miss, like when you were in 2nd grade and you were sick, didn't you go to the teacher and say, teacher, I missed, fill me in? It's a very 2nd grader-ish thing to do, right? You're 9th graders, to be 10th, 11th, 12th, right? A very almost adult way of doing things is, oh, my teacher has provided a resource, I will use it, versus, nah, I won't use it. Remember who's responsible. In the end, if your GPA is only 2.4 and you're like, man, I wish it was 3.4, you can't say, well, man, that algebra teacher, he provided a lot of resources, but I didn't use them, so it's his fault. What? You know what I mean? So take responsibility, use your resources. Again, I'm not upset. Just this is part of growing up, right? And I'm still growing up too. I got to learn to use my own resources. Everybody's still in process. You're just in this stage right here. Anybody else with a question on the DMR? Well, while you're pondering that, just keep in mind that this week we'll have 2 more practice days with this DMR, and hopefully you'll see yourself getting better and better. And then, of course, Friday we'll have our DMR, or excuse me, yes, Friday we'll have our DMR quiz. So, just like normal. Any questions at all? Okay. Why don't you break out your computers? We're going to do a little Desmos activity. I think will be really, really fun. And like always, you're going to get about as much out of this Desmos activity as you put in. So think about quality answers here. I'm actually going to project some stuff on the screen here in a little bit, which should be very interesting. You want to check it out. Starting to look at our exit tickets. So I think I will flip screens on you for the moment. There are 5 questions in our exit ticket. Please check them out. I'm going to go back to the Desmos screen if people have any questions or anything. Okay, so please, with your exit ticket, please label it as number 1, number 2, number 3, so I know which one you're doing. And then once you think you have answers, or just even a single answer, just flip your board, and I will let you know if you got it right. Got it. Oh, you're going to make me walk over there. All right. Sydney, number 1 looks good. Number 2, I think you just multiplied wrong. It's not right, unfortunately. Could you turn it a little bit so I can see it? Yep, good. Good, good, good. Not good. Good. Number 1 is good. Number 2 is a little confusing. There's like, you have some sort of weird 2 hanging up there at the top.
Oh, that's number.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, if you're going to do it on this. All right. Looks good. Looks good. That number 2 is good. 1 good, 2 good, 3 good. I'm going to go in order here. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Doc. Going in order. Yes, yes, yes. No, no. Yes, 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 yes. Number y to the 0 is 1. And if you take 8x squared times 1, what do you get? Okay. In order. Yes, 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 no, and obviously no. All right. So number 1, I can tell what you're trying to do, but it's not written very well. Number 2 is not written very well. 3 is correct. 4 is correct. 5 is not. So rethink about numbers 1 and 2, how you want to write those. Okay. In order. Yes, 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 blank. Yes. Yes. In order. Well, they're all 3 correct. Oh, wait. Hang on. No, the first one's correct. Yeah, they're all 3 correct, Caroline. Good job. Good. Good, good, good. So all 3 of those were good. Chase. All 3 are good. All 4 of those are good. Just work on number 5. Yes, 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 and no. And you have to. That's super important, right? So, yes, yes, yes. So you just need to do number 5. Okay, number 3. Okay, I just need to, yep. So 3 and 4 are good. Bree. Let's see here. I'll come over there in a second. So, good, 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 good. All 5. Good. Nice work. All right, Bree, what do we got? So, first one, all correct. Good job. Let's keep going. These are just your basic rules, correct components. So far, so good. That is correct now, right? Because we say it's for and a little unclear. I'm not sure what those symbols are. Okay. Good, 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 good. Not good. Not good on 5. Not good on 5. Okay. Correct? Yes. 5 is correct. All correct. that's right. That's correct. That's correct. Thanks, for you. For my hand.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. That's correct. Okay. That's good. It almost looks like you have x squared. That's a 2. That's not right. Hey, guys, don't back up yet. I don't know where you're going. You still have 5 full minutes. We're going to use all of it. All right. That looks good. Nice job. Nice job. That's correct. That's correct. All both of those. Okay. So let's see here. This is going to be really, really good. Okay. This is the last one I have, right? Are these last two? I think it's your first 3. First 4.
So sorry.
Hey, so guys, listen up. The one thing that I saw. Listen up, please. This is really, really good. I'm very encouraged. I hope you are too. So the one thing that I saw that there's maybe a little bit of struggle with was negative exponents. So let me give you, we'll just do one or two of these together here. If you saw something like this, the instructions were to simplify, and it was maybe like, I don't know, 4x to the negative 2 y to the third, okay, over z to the negative 4th. So let's say it was that. Anybody want to venture an idea as to how this could be, maybe should be simplified? Think it over for a minute. We'll hear what you have to say. I'll even give you a hint. It's still a fraction. All right, Ella, what do you think? You can give us all of it, part of it, whatever you think.
Don't you flip the negatives around, so like x to negative 2 would be flipped below, so it becomes a positive, and then z to the negative 4 is flipped with the top.
Okay. What about the 4 and the y cubed?
Is the 4 with the x? You
Well-
keep the y to the third at the top.
So, okay. So let's just we'll deal with the 4 in a second. Let's just pause right here. So far, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you partially disagree? What do you think about what Ella's done so far? Sebastian? Would the y be what? Would the y be a negative 3? I would say no, and here's why. The negative x, Ella said it pretty well. I think she said it very well. She said a negative exponent means you need to flip the base to the other level. And when I look at this, I see that this has a positive exponent, so there is no need to flip that anywhere. If I wanted to flip it down, the exponent would actually become negative, which I want to leave them positive in the end. Okay? So I think the y to the 3 is in the right place for sure. You guys okay with the z and the x? So then what about the 4? Because that's kind of where she landed. She's like, I'm not exactly sure what to do with the 4, right?
Wait, is it 4x to the second?
Well, let's talk about that. What is, like right here, there's no symbol in between the 4 and the x. So if there's no symbol written like this, what do we understand the symbol to be? Multiplication. So it's 4, it is 4 times. That's really no different than that, right? Let me ask you this. Currently, as it stands, what is the exponent that's on the 4? It's a 1, right? Because if it's 4 to the blank, we understand it to be 4 to the 1. So if it's 4 to the 1, 4 has a positive exponent. Do we flip positive exponents? We do not. So the 4 would actually remain right where it was. The z and the x would flip levels, like you did correctly. And then this would be the correct final simplification. So I only did that just because I noticed that when we were doing our exit ticket, the biggest struggle was with those negative exponents. So overall, really excellent start to this, okay? I think that's it, right? 9:55 or whatever it is? Yeah, 9:55, I think that's our class time. So please put your little whiteboards away. I will see you again tomorrow. We'll keep working on exponents. Have a great day.